So this one was somebody asked, how do you do a simple crafting system? And how do you take items from your inventory and build other things? And from what I gather, it was specifically about the inventory management of that. So I'm gonna do a quick thing here about how to pull stuff out of your inventory. I think there's other tutorials on collecting items and getting them in there, but this is just going to assume that you've already got stuff in your inventory and some way to combine them. And I'm going to do most of it. Actually, I'll do all of this in a GUI with buttons. And so it may not look exactly like a fancy game, but that's okay. The idea is when you have stuff in your inventory, what are you going to do with it? So I'm going to create a UI button. And now that we've got our canvas like we've done in the past, I'm going to change the way this looks to a screen space camera and scale a screen size. And then we're going to need to know what camera we've got. And I'm just going to go through and start to set this thing up. So here is a button. And this is this inventory is just going to be based on colors. So we will have something like this button will be, where's the text? We'll change the name. This will be yellow. And then we'll create another one, just doing Command D. Oops. Another button. And this will be blue. And we'll do one more, which will be green. Okay, so, oops. So now let's start to move these things around a little bit. And oops. Okay, so we've got these things here, and I'm gonna also actually, this will be, well, we'll add a couple more text elements to this thing too, which will be our count of things. So UI text, and this will be 100. And it will be representing how many elements of yellow do we have. Yeah, it's not exactly positioned right, but that's okay. And then we'll do these as well. We'll have 100 blues. And we'll have zero greens. So what's our game look like? Okay, so I'm just going to change this background color to make it look a little bit better. And well, that's good enough. Probably should make this font darker, but that's okay. So the idea is that I want to take one yellow and one blue out of my inventory and then click on green and have this increment by 1. That's the idea. And actually, let's put one more. Let's see. Let's add one more button, which will be a clear. Or just like a cancel or something. Say cancel. And then we'll add one more text object, which will be over here. And this is going to be like what's in our, what have we selected so far. So for example, we'll have yellow, comma, blue. And if we hit the yellow button, we'll have yellow, and then when we add another blue to it, it'll expand blue. So it sort of just represents what have we selected so far. And so I'm just going to leave that alone for now because it's empty, but we'll populate that in a sec. All right, so now we need to write our code to do this. So I will write a C# script. We'll call it inventory manager. And I'll just throw that onto the main camera because it's something in the scene. And let's open that up. And so we need to have a few things inside of here. We need to know when people are pressing buttons. So public void yellow clicked. Public void blue clicked. Public void green clicked. And public void cancel clicked. So these are our functions for our button handlers. And then we need to have some references to our text so that we can update it. So we need to use UnityEngine.ui in order to get access to our text objects. So we'll have a public text. What do we have? Yellow inventory text. Then we have all these. Yellow, blue, green. Yellow, blue, oops. Yellow, blue, green. We also have a combo text, which is all the stuff we've selected. How about just say text selected inventory. That'll be on the screen. Let's see, what else do we need? We'll have, make it public, int yellow inventory. How many yellow things do we have? We'll start at 100. And we'll start with 100 blues. And we'll start with 0 green. That. And we're going to need an array list for pieces in our inventory that we're selecting. So we will say array list selected items equals new array list. Right, and let's see what we got. So we don't really have any code yet, but let's see. So here's our main camera. We need to put all these things in here. So our yellow inventory text, I didn't really name these things very good. Let's go back and name them. Yellow inventory. This is green inventory. This is blue inventory. And what did we call this one? Selected items. Alright, so now if I go back to my main camera, we've got these things here, so I can start loading these things up. So yellow inventory to yellow inventory, blue to blue, green to green, selected to selected. And then for each of our buttons, we can add the action. So on click, we want to go to our main camera, which is where our script is. Inventory manager, and this is yellow, so we will say yellow clicked. Then we'll come down to this one, which is blue. On click, camera, inventory manager, blue clicked, green clicked, main camera, inventory manager, green clicked, and one more. Find our main camera, inventory manager, what was this one? Cancel clicked. There we go. And there we go. So now we have all these text fields lined up with our code, all these buttons lined up with our code. So now we can go in there and start doing things. So do we have, can't remember, color dot, we get colors? Is it color dot red? No. Alright, anyways, I was looking to see if there was a shortcut to save these colors, but that's okay. We'll just start to say that yellow is a 1, blue is a 2, and green will be a 3. These are just going to be IDs that we keep track of when we go through the sequence of pressing these buttons. So anyways, so when we click yellow, we will say selected items dot add, and we're going to have to add whatever this value is. So let's just add whatever our yellow number is. So we'll just add a 1. That's going to add a 1 to our list. If it's a blue, then we will add a 2. And then if green is clicked, then we're going to have to create some green. So that's how we're doing this right now. I mean, it's not exactly perfect because you can't use green to do anything, but I think it kind of serves the purpose of showing you how to take items out of your inventory and then use them to create something else. So inside of here, when we go to create some green, and basically, actually, we want to do one more thing here. We want to say if yellow inventory is greater than 0, we can do this. Right? If it's less than 0, we can't do it. If blue inventory is greater than 0, then we can do this. So what we need to do now is we need to go through the selected items and just double check to see that we have one yellow and one blue inside of it. And if we do, then we can create a green. So we'll say if, let's see, say yellow. Actually, yeah, yellow count equals 0, and blue count equals 0. So for each int val in selected items, if val equals 1, then we'll say yellow count plus plus. If val equals 2, blue count plus plus. There we go. And then once we come out of here, we can say something like if yellow count is greater than 0 and blue count is greater than 0, we can make a green one. So what we'll do is we'll take one out of our yellow inventory, one out of our blue, and we'll add one to green. And then we'll update display. How's that? And we'll make an update display, void update display. And we will say, what do we have here? Yellow inventory text. Inventory text dot text equals, and it's going to be yellow inventory dot toString, and then the same for blue and green. All right. And if we click cancel, all we want to do is say we just want to clear out our selected items. And let's see, what else do we need to do? And we also need to say selected inventory text dot text equals just a space. And we haven't been updating this, so let's go ahead and update that up here. We'll call cancel. And we'll also clear these things out once we update our green. So we're going to add something, selected items dot text plus equals blue comma yellow. All right, so this was a whole lot of code. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. Let's see what happens. All right, so let's run this thing. If I hit yellow, nothing happened. Blue, nothing happened. Green, okay. So it looks like our text over here is not getting updated right for this part of it. I wonder why. So it does look like it's working, but it looks like whatever is going into this selected items text is not working right. Let's try it again. So yellow, there it goes. Blue. Then I can click on green. And now we have 99 yellow, 99 blue, and 1 green. If I do it again, then we're down by 2. I should be able to do it in any sequence. And I should be able to do something like this. But it only takes away 1 because that's a requirement. If I have a whole bunch of things, I can cancel it out, but it doesn't change our inventory over here. Yellow, blue, make green. We're only going to increment by 1 because that's what our code says, even though we selected more. But then we only take 1 of each out of our inventory. So that is a crafting example. One way to do it. There's lots of ways to do it. But basically, you need to keep track of what items a person has selected. This was sort of a hack to get it in there really quick. I wouldn't really advise to do it this way. At least make some static variables that hold what these values are, because if you're just reading this code, you don't have any idea what a 1 or a 2 is. In fact, we should probably just do something like static int blue equals 2, static int yellow equals 1, static int green equals 3. And that'll make this look a little bit nicer. Add yellow, add blue. There. That's a much better way to do it. And then down here, if val equals yellow, val equals blue, then do this stuff. So that makes it look a lot better. So I would definitely recommend doing things like this as opposed to the first way I had where I just sort of hacked it in there. But this should still run just fine. Yellow, blue, green. So there you go. And it's complaining that we never used green, but that's okay. So that is a very quick example of how to do crafting.